Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes.
Yeah.
Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us at BLPA Big Show on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones and Trish at Trish Dingle.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Yo, what's going on, guys? We have to talk about our sponsors. This show is brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, by the way, April, you're supposed to howl whenever we say HockeyWolf.com. So how about you give Hockey Wolf your best howl?
Ow.
Ooh, solid. That's a solid first effort. I like that. HockeyWolf.com. They're just a bunch of beer leaguers like us. They have pro shops in the Pacific Northwest, but they can ship anywhere you want. So if you want a good deal on gear, on team wear, anything like that, HockeyWolf.com. Ow, ow, ow.
Ow.
There we go. And they have some special BLPA stuff. So check them out. Great guys over there at Hockey Wolf. Hey, we've been missing for a couple weeks. Hey, it's been busy, vacations, all that good stuff. But we're back. Well, I'm back anyway. No Trish, no Dan this week. I'm back. It is Monday, August 9th. And it is Oklahoma City Draft Week. I sing when I get excited. I'm sorry. I'm super stoked about Oklahoma City this weekend. I mean, the theme is killer. The old Letterkenny theme. Everyone went crazy for it. We've basically sold out a 6-team tournament in Oklahoma City, something that I never thought was possible, but it's happened, and I'm super, super, super jacked about it. There's a lot of things to talk about here, but first, do this. Share this episode. And there's a reason why I want you to share the episode. I want you to share because it's special, because it's a little throwback. I'm going to just cut in an old episode from an old tournament that we did, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do that. First one is because it's probably the funniest episode I've been a part of. We all got drunk. We were on a charter bus to and from a Coyotes game, and we pulled out a microphone and recorded. And what we recorded is kind of, it reminded me because of the Oklahoma City draft, because we just got a food truck for Saturday in Oklahoma City, and it's called Nick's Tamales. And tamales are hilarious to me because of this episode, and that's why I want to play it. But I also think it kind of highlights kind of what goes on at drafts and like the camaraderie and the fun and all that stuff. And so I think that once you hear it, if you haven't come to a draft, you're going to say, shit, I got to go to one of those drafts. And if you don't, well, then you're probably not very fun at parties. But I want you to share it, and I want you to tag me at Nicker Jones, at the Nicker Jones on Instagram, Nick Fleard on Facebook. Let me know that you're sharing it, because I'm going to give away an entry into a draft experience because of this episode. And we're getting ready to go on a crazy run here with Oklahoma City on Friday. We have 7 in a row. Oklahoma City, the Chicago charity one for Austin's Army, for the young man that's battling cancer right now. We're donating all the proceeds to Austin's family. And then we're going to do Eagle River, Wisconsin. And then we're going to do Washington, D.C. on Labor Day. And then it goes Nashville, Cincinnati, and Charleston. 7 tournaments in a row. Unheard of, right? Yes, I do have a very understanding wife, or maybe she just doesn't want me at home. Whatever. She's cool with it. She says, hey, go out there and host good events. So that's what I'm doing. But on this Oklahoma City tournament, I just, as soon as I heard Nick's Tamales, I was like, you know what? I've got to go back and find this old episode. It's a show that I created, I marketed, I sold. I did everything myself, and then it was taken away from me. Whatever. We got something better, BLPA, Big Show. But it was one of the very early episodes, like probably like, I don't know, 25 episodes or so in. So like we're talking about like 2015ish. So it's a while back. So when I heard we got the food truck, Nick's Tamales, it made me laugh, made me think of this episode. And I was like, I have to find it. I've got to put it out for people that probably didn't know or follow the old show or me back in the days, and they can hear this, because I literally laugh when I just listened to it again, and I laughed at what was going on. It's so absurd. We go from like tamales, getting drunk, you know, people with carbon fiber. It's asinine, but I have to play it. But first I want to tell you kind of what's going on with us. I mean, you already heard about the draft experiences that we have 7 in a row. We have the last draft experience of the year in December 10 through 12. Second stop in Vegas, because who doesn't love Vegas, especially, you know, close to Christmas. And listen, I know people have to spend money for presents on Christmas. I get it 100%. But I also know that Christmas time is stressful for a lot of people. So come to Vegas with us and let us, you know, help you de-stress before you go into the big family gathering. And then we go on. We got the Philadelphia outdoor one right on the first of the year. I believe it's the 7th through the 9th. It's not New Year's weekend. It's the weekend after that. And then at the end of January, we got Iceland, and then we go full bore. We got a lot of stuff going on with this show too, where we get back into a regular thing whenever we don't have all the travels of summer going on. But I'm going to start doing some interviews. I got a beauty queen, I guess beauty pageant queen, hockey player that comes on. She was one of the Miss States in the Miss USA thing. So it'll be cool to hear from her. Getting a guy on that has the record for the most games played in a year, most hockey games played in a year. That's mind blowing. I play a lot of hockey, and I'm going to do the math to see if maybe I can catch up. Maybe I can get that world record. I don't know. His record is crazy, but I'm going to see the math, or at least going to put in perspective how much I play versus what his world record is. So we're going to have him on here in a quick episode, probably within the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping I'm efforting on that. And let's get into a nice little groove. You guys can sit back and enjoy, winter season for beer league starting. So we'll have a lot of content around that as well. But listen, I'm super stoked about the tournaments coming up. I'm so jacked. Just Oklahoma City selling out at 6 teams just blows my mind. It makes my heart happy. That's my hometown. That's where I started playing hockey. So anytime I can get to the South and play hockey, I'm super stoked. I really want to talk about BLPA Fest in Austin. We had the whole 9 live bands. We had hockey. It was incredible, but I think maybe that's the next show. And then, we got to talk about Dutch Brothers Coffee, but I'll get my boy Jeff Peck on to talk about it. He got me turned on to this Dutch Brothers Coffee. It's amazing. And you know why it's amazing? It's because they put chocolate milk in it. And you know what? I love chocolate milk. So anytime you throw chocolate milk on something, I'm probably going to like it. But nonetheless, back to Oklahoma City and the Tamale truck. And the reason why I'm on here giving you this intro, let's get into it. And remember, if you share it, if you tag me, you let me know you've shared it, you subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us, whatever. But sharing it is the most important. Share it, and you have a chance to win one of the draft experiences in September. That's DC, Nashville, Cincinnati, and Charleston. All badass themes, badass jerseys, badass people, and a badass time, basically. So come be a badass at one of our events. But anyway, here's just literally a shit show. Literally a shit show. It reminds me of Oklahoma City when we got the Tamale truck. Take it away.
And welcome to the greatest hockey show in the world. Can't go anymore. I can't do it. That was the trifecta.
Right, Wayne.
Steve Miggs. Steve, how
Hello.
are you doing?
I'm great. I love the fact that the only time you invite me onto your podcast is when I'm wasted.
Yeah. So I've learned
Whit Miggs is wasted. You know what? We should record something.
So, just so everyone knows, Steve Miggs actually got me into podcasting.
Yes.
He had me on the podcast about draft. His podcast about draft.
That's the first time we all met.
Yeah.
So
check out Miggscast. Just Google Miggscast.
Yes.
You can find it there. It's a really funny podcast.
Sometimes we send pictures of our significant others. We send our penis pictures to them.
Yeah.
While we do it to get a reaction out of them.
That's where
I've never do that on Beer League Talk.
Send our penis to our listeners.
No, not yeah. If you follow me on Snapchat, I'll send you a dong pic. But no. What we would do is you send a picture of your dick to your significant other.
Oh.
And whoever gets a response from their significant other first wins. I came in second.
Oh, did you?
And my wife wasn't happy. Because they weren't excited pictures, they were flaccid pixers.
Oh.
Which is really weird.
And you're like, look how much you turned me on.
And you can't say why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just check it out, summer sausage.
So that has nothing to do with beer league hockey.
No.
But it has everything to do with draft. So Steve's been playing at our draft this weekend. Steve refused to pick me. He looked me in the eyeballs and said, no.
But this is the beauty and also the tragic part of the draft, is that sometimes in one round you have 3 friends to pick from.
Yep. And you did.
And I did in that round. And you were in that round, and I had to pick, even though I know you can slam a beer, I had to go with the guy that's bald and has a fat-ass mustache because I knew that he would just dominate. Got to go, Brian.
This one's going.
And I said no.
And then Nick was like, nope.
But you know what?
Yes.
I'm still having a great time. Are you having a great time?
Dude, I'd have a great time even if you were on our team, which sounds crazy to say.
Even if you were
on
you
our
son
team,
of a
I'd still
bitch.
be having fun.
Man. But
Now people are throwing toilet paper on the bus.
yeah, so I guess everyone should know where we're at. So right now we're on a shuttle bus or
this is not a shuttle. This
like
is
a charter bus. We went to
For
a
the
Phoenix
Phoenix Suns.
Coyotes.
Yeah.
Went for a Phoenix Coyotes game in a Phoenix Sun charter bus.
Yes.
Weirdly enough, but we went to the Coyotes game and now we're riding back. And we were going to record before on the way to the game, but I said
No.
Miggs isn't drunk enough.
Right, and I was pretty drunk before the game.
Yeah, but you're drunker now. More drunk.
I would say at least 30% more.
And now we're going to Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Yes, because I hear there's
Peaks.
fantastic
stuff.
peaks.
So well,
Twin Peaks because there's Twin Peaks.
that's Munson. That's just so.
Yeah.
Just so Steve and Munson and Jay from the Drunkcast episode in
Yes.
Vancouver.
Yes, we're all here.
They're all here in this bus. They're all drunk. They're part of the greatest beer league hockey team known to man, the Tacoma Donkeys. So
Yeah. 3-time champions.
Donkeys 3 times in a row. We're going on our 4th. So 3 out of 5. We're going on 4 out of 6. So 66%.
that's pretty good. It's pretty
That's great
solid.
math.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, I got to throw
How
a
does he
heater
do that math
back to the
drunk?
bus. 1 second.
Yeah, throw a heater.
All right, here we go.
He almost
Jay
man-
in that.
he
You
almost
just hit
maimed
Jay in the
somebody.
head, I think.
So, all right. So that's the serious part of the podcast. We talked about hockey. I want
Yes.
to talk about a couple draft stories from this weekend. So,
Oh boy,
So
Jay
What?
not making it home for the second straight draft tournament.
Jay is blacked out. How many times have you blacked out in your life, Jay?
3.
And
2 at the draft.
And how many drafts have you been to?
3.
What happened to the other one?
It was my first one. I tried
Oh,
to be
you were
respectful.
nervous, yeah.
And
And you realize, why am I being respectful?
I tried to be good the first one.
See, the issue that there's this epidemic of irresponsible bartenders, and they're over-serving us.
Here we go.
It is not fair.
We all should have been cut off.
Yeah,
It's not our fault.
that's true.
They serve us up to the point where we can't make decisions for ourselves, and then they just keep serving us to get money.
Then I end up in random rooms on the floor in the bathroom. I don't know how I even
That's
got
what
there.
happened this
Last night.
last night.
He didn't make it home. At least
A bathroom floor.
I went to bed. He wasn't in bed. I woke up. He was in his bed. I was like, whoa. But I think we really need to talk about the important issue at hand, and that's the tamales.
Yeah, let's talk about tamales.
All right, we have some shit to settle here, okay? We have some shit to settle.
Oh, good. You're the judge. You're the
Okay,
judge.
yeah.
Because Nick was a part of the tamale.
I was a part. I wandered into it.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't officially supposed to be a part of it, but Miggs is like, "Hey, come on to the room."
But
and
you
he
got
gets
sucked
there.
in quick.
Yeah. He gets there and he goes,
We get back to the hotel. Whoa. Oh, there's a strip. Somebody has on video a striptease going on phone.
"Yeah."
Between Munson
two guys.
and Captain.
I was overserved.
We're gonna put that on the draft tournament Facebook.
Oh boy.
So
Okay.
back to tamales.
Tamales.
Okay? So first off, where did the tamales come from?
They came from
originally?
Domi's wife, who's from Mexico. So they're homemade. Like they're like illegal tamales.
Illegal tamales.
Well, they're not. They don't have their green card yet.
Oh.
Well, now they do because they're married to him.
These are authentic tamales.
Okay, authentic tamales.
Yeah.
Right. They brought them all the way from Vegas, where Domi's from. They drove down.
Locked safely in our room. Hotels,
Right.
good security. They were locked safely in our room. Not Munson's room. Munson's in a totally different room.
So whose room? Whose room?
You're butting into it. No, he's jumping in.
Right. They left the tamales in our room so that we could eat them when we got home.
Okay.
So they were in the refrigerator. So
After
we went
the
out
draft party.
after the draft tournament. We come back to the hotel room, Heaney and I, and we're like, "Shut up." They,
What do we want the caption to be when we post this on the draft on Facebook?
We're in the middle of a tamale story.
we got a tamale story. Say, awesome,
Yeah. So
awesome people doing awesome things.
Steve's in his
Okay.
room after the draft party. He goes home.
Into
He's
the
like,
fridge.
I just want some damn tamales.
I just want a tamale, at least one tamale.
At least one.
At
Yeah.
least one.
That's fair.
Open up the fridge, they're not in there. So then I'm like, wait, where'd the tamales go? So then I open up, there's a random bag on the floor, and there's like 3 tamale leaves that are in there. I'm like, whoa, something's going on. So we're texting these guys. In the course of a half hour, I must have texted, what, like 10 times?
About.
And all they said was tamales. Where are the tamales? Next text, Ma. Next text, leaves.
Well,
Mix needs a fucking tamale.
yeah, and
So
when
want
I
a
got in
fucking
there,
tamale,
so
man. Yeah.
so and then I just Mix is like, hey, come to our room, and this is the room number. So I walk in, and they start talking about tamales, and I'm intrigued because I love tamales.
Right, tamales
And
are
so-
fantastic.
so-
Actually, I think they're the Cadillac of Mexican food.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Definitely,
tamales.
for sure. And so, I want to be honest, like, Steve's texting him. Heaney over there is calling them.
Yes.
And it wasn't just a, hey, call and then wait for 5 minutes and
No.
call them back. No,
Every 30
it was,
seconds.
they would call, the voicemail would come on, they'd hang it up, call again, and
Yeah.
this went for 10 minutes at least.
At least 10 minutes.
And then a light bulb went on.
Yes.
And they were like, we have a plan. And
Good
what was the
plan.
plan? What was the plan,
A
Steve?
great plan. We were going to have Heaney and I go down to the front desk, say that he is Michael Munson, and that he left his wallet and everything in the room, and his roommate, Steve Domi, is passed out. Can you let us in? Okay. Thus, we would get inside of their room, get the tamales back, bring them back to our room where they belong and where they were supposed to be, and then they get to go and spend time with their rightful owners, i.e. in my belly.
And what was wrong with that?
No, there was nothing wrong with the plan. It was
That was a
actually,
great
it's a
plan.
sound plan. But as
Right.
we're walking to the
The
front desk,
front desk.
we're like, we can hear a TV on in their room.
And a door open.
Yeah. Well, we knocked. Remember, we kept knocking,
Yeah.
and we're like, okay, let's just go to the front desk. We walk around the corner and we hear the door open. We're like, is that them?
Yes. And,
it
it's
was.
Domi.
The Domi.
And Domi has like a deer in headlights look on his face, and we're like, because we've been texting he's awake, and we've been sending text after text, call after call, no response. And now it's like, oh, what do you guys want? We're like, the tamales. Give us the fucking tamales.
And I think he goes, what tamales?
Right.
He
He
goes, "What
actually
tamales?"
says that on the little like table in front of his couch. It's just a pile of tamale leaves.
But they ate them in our room.
They ate them in our room and brought the leaves back to their room.
Back, so they didn't have the evidence in our room. But they ate them. They not only broke into our room using my name, which
We haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah.
We have to hold on.
So and what's funny is, so
Yeah.
they have that plate of tamale shells or husk or whatever.
Yeah.
And Domi's like, oh, there's tamales.
There's
And
got to be some
he's
underneath
He's
all of
moving
these.
all of them.
He moves them all around. There's no tamales.
No, and I'm not talking.
And then he blames Munson, who's blacked out, passed out at this point. We're
Yeah.
like, all right, no. Doesn't seem right.
And then he burps. He goes, I think Munson ate him. Blah.
Yeah. So
So-
now we see them the next day, and that's when we find out what, Jay?
Yeah. So Munson kind of. Okay. You tell.
All right, so we got back, coming back from the draft party. I was like, "Fuck, we need some eats." So yeah, we're over.
He was stripping at the bar that he was overserved at.
Yeah,
Video's online now.
I was overserved.
The video's on the Draft Facebook page right now.
Yeah, check it out, ladies.
And gentlemen.
But you were dancing with a dude.
I mean, all right. So A to J,
Switch hitter. Switch
it's
hitter.
like Magic Mike. You know.
Switch hitter.
But seriously, Magic Mike.
But just a lot less attractive.
Can I also say, like, as we're going, like, on Beer League Talk, like, this doesn't necessarily reflect all the views of everyone on Beer League Talk. This is just some stuff that happened at the draft, so don't think any less of.
This is like the best commercial for the draft. Like if I was listening to this and I've never done a draft, I'd go to a draft. I would just make it a point to lock the tamales in the safe,
But just
as
so
opposed to the
there's not
refrigerator.
tamales
Can we
at
get
every
back to-
draft.
So,
Okay.
so these tamales. Okay, Domi and I brought the tamales
for us.
to share a little bit, and then when we were going through the draft, I made a point and said, "Hey, Domi, we need to make. We need to take the tamales back to our room because these assholes are gonna
Because they were
They're
for
gonna-
us.
No, they weren't.
Well, then why? But then why were they locked in the room? Why were they locked in the room?
See, all right, I'm catching.
If they
a lot of
weren't
hate
for
right
them,
now.
why were they
But,
locked
okay,
in their room?
So
Right, why were they in our room then?
that's my point.
Your point being that they were for us.
I overserved myself going to the draft, okay? And I
So it wasn't.
yeah, I accidentally got drunk.
Oops.
Yeah.
Accidents happen.
And so I said, we should really move these tamales back to our room. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. And I got outvoted. So I was like, oh, fuck it.
I'll just later on break into their room and get them back.
So how did you break into their room? Like,
So
what
when
did you do?
we take a ride back from the draft to our room, and all I'm thinking is, we just got to beat Miggs, we got to beat Jay, we got to beat Heaney, and we can fucking have these tamales. So then I realized, fuck, they're in their room. So I go up to the front desk, and I'm like, I'm Jay McFadden. I forgot my wallet. I lost my key. I need to get into my room. I'm drunk. And they're like, okay, well, we have a couple security questions for you. I'm like, okay, all right, fine, yeah.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. And they're like, they're like, what city do you live in? Tacoma. Okay, cool. Well, here's your key.
And what's funny, like, that's any of his friends would know that, but you live in Tacoma with them, so you know that.
Yeah, so they give me the key, and we just go in there, and we just mow down on these tamales in their room. In their room.
They ate them in our room.
And then left a couple husks.
Yes. Like as a little, hey, fuckers, here's a little tip.
Here's a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we tried to clean up as much as we could, and it just bolts out of there. And so I stuffed myself and then just went passed out.
I want to punch him right now.
Tamales are serious, man.
I mean, look what happened. We were all ready to commit breaking.
Like, you know what would suck? Like, oh, well, first off, so this brilliant plan that we hatched,
They already beat us to it.
Yeah, and it worked. So
did.
it was a good plan.
It was going to be a great plan had we got there first.
Yeah.
Well, had we got there first, none of this would have ever happened because we would have had the tamales.
You know what would be sad if the greatest beer league team in the history of all mankind, the Tacoma Donkeys,
right?
If they broke up over tamales. It would be sad if they broke up over tamales.
Oh no, we're okay.
Like I think
we're not okay.
But,
I got issues. I got issues with the hotel. First of all, they let this guy pose as me, and I'm missing like $500 cash
and a bag of diamonds
and $1,000 worth of tamales.
Yep.
I mean, priceless tamales.
I tell you what, Munson will never get another tamale though. Munson, you will never get another tamale my wife makes. Because you would do a chick with carbon fiber wheels.
What he said?
You would do a chick with carbon fiber wheels.
Oh, yes. That's the next question. Next question. All right, we're done with the tamales. This is a good debate.
Can I lay it out?
Ask the question.
Wait. Before you lay it out,
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming. All right, but I would like whoever's listening to weigh in. I want what you think of this debate.
Okay.
So tweet us in the
Looking
universe.
for any like hot whore Twitter accounts, you could go on to all the people that we follow. We only follow slutty looking chicks.
Like chicks that send naked photos out? Yeah,
right.
Cool.
That way, for all of us, we can go on this.
The whole reason we made our Twitter is so we can follow the smut and leave our personal Twitters clean.
That way our girlfriends and wives wouldn't know that we're following all these bitches.
Listen, like, I don't know how.
It's completely anonymous.
Like,
that's why we have a Twitter page.
That's not
no other
PC
reason.
at all. Like, that's not PC. This is not family oriented. But that is brilliant beer league team unity right there.
The only thing that's hard is when I'm at work and I open up my Twitter. Well, the only thing that's tough about this whole situation, I open up my Twitter. I'm at work. I'm on the Donkeys because we're all logged into the Donkeys Twitter, right?
We all have the username and password.
I open up my Twitter thinking it's gonna go to my own. It goes to the Donkeys one, and it's just naked girls all over.
You know what? So when I first started dating my girlfriend, I was showing her dad. Her dad wants to take us out for dinner, and I'm telling him about Twitter. He's an old fucker. And I'm like, hey, you gotta check out Twitter. I'll show you what it is. And I pull up, and I forgot I was logged on to the Tacoma Donkeys Twitter, not my Twitter, and it's just 3 pictures of tits. And
so now he's on Twitter now, right?
Yeah, I just pull it up. I pulled up our Twitter, and like, first thing, it's just like that's it, just girl.
It's just chicks.
All. Just whatever.
Just chicks. Well,
so I open this up, and this is what comes up like at work. Just that.
Well, no, okay.
Sluts doing slutty things.
Which is awesome.
Can we get back to the debate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get. We get off track a little bit because we're drunk.
Yes.
That happens.
Well, we're not sober.
We're being overserved.
That's a great picture.
Okay.
Great picture. That's a great picture.
Okay. Debate.
Yeah.
Let's get to the
okay. So Domi and I get a Uber back from our last game, and we're walking out, and there's this hot chick walking out of our hotel. Super, super hot. Great ass, great face, great tits, everything. Fucking hot. And yeah, and he goes, would you do her? And I'm thinking like, yeah. and then I'm looking, I'm like, why is he even asking that? And I look, I see no legs. It's carbon fiber legs. It's, you know, she's on stilts. And,
Oh my God.
yeah, and I'm like, you know what? Legs just get in the way anyway.
Oh my
I'm
God.
100% still banging that.
So what's the question?
The question is, would you do a chick with carbon fiber or not?
I don't know how to answer that. Like, my wife listens,
Oh.
so I just want to say.
Tommy wanted to
I want to
defriend
say.
me.
Yeah. All right, I'll speak on behalf of myself and not Nick. I absolutely would.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you're
See,
married. Your
right.
wife.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't because I'm married. I get it. There's a little
Yeah.
bit of a technical. I'm talking about single Steve.
Single dude, single
would have
Steve.
No problem just getting behind that.
Hey, can I?
And I'm a leg man.
That's
And I'm okay if they're missing.
I'm totally fine. I wouldn't even think twice.
Why won't Domi?
Yeah, why won't you?
There's something just inherently wrong with that. I mean, okay, maybe for the novelty of it, just to check it out
So
one
now
time.
it's just a
But
sideshow?
it couldn't be like kind of like a sideshow, yeah.
That's even worse than us. I just want to bang a hot chick. I don't care if she's missing an appendage.
Why judge him? What?
Right?
Pink is still pink, man.
Oh, man.
Like, there's gonna have to be a very big disclaimer on this one.
You
yeah.
need to make
It's gonna be
Purely Talk
iTunes.
shirts.
You're gonna have to
Pink is
rate
still
it on iTunes and explicit. And usually it's just explicit for language. This is explicit for everything. Like, I'm gonna have to click every single box.
All right, so then,
Yeah, clicking boxes.
so we're just gonna leave that one up for anyone on Twitter to respond to, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
So is it?
We need an answer. You're part of it.
Oh yeah, Brett.
Brett, come on.
But
Come on, Brett.
Brett, wait, Brett doesn't usually talk. He just laughs at me and that kind of stuff. So
It's easy to laugh at Nick, and there's not a lot of
It's not very funny though.
breathe when Nick's talking, so I have to save all of mine.
okay. Well, I am opening. I am opening it. Here you go. Here's your floor.
I go along with Steve sentiment. Single Steve, single Brett.
Yeah.
There's no gaps in that.
How do you turn that down? She's
What
hot.
about single Nick?
And there's less.
Yeah,
you can
single
take
Nick for
off.
sure. But here's another question that brings
We
that.
weren't saying, would you have an
Yeah.
affair on your wife with a girl
Oh.
with no legs?
You
That's
didn't-
just,
you didn't
That's
specify.
disrespectful.
Single.
So-
do you want to bang a chick? Yes.
This brings another question when we start talking about single Steve and single Brett. What would you change about yourself now that would turn it into single Steve? Like, what would be different about you?
Oh man, I mean, as much as action as possible. I mean,
That's just it. Like, a single Steve is just as much action as possible. Everything else is the
with
same.
just random bitches.
You only, but see, it's hard because when you're in a relationship, especially with a dude, you're not worried about going and hitting on chicks, right? So you have all the confidence in the world, and so you have all these chicks. It's like, oh, I could bang her, I could bang her, I could bang her, I could even bang him if I wanted to, and you got the world at your fingertips there.
What did you just say? What did he say?
Some things are best never repeated.
But
you
it's
just-
but
did you
it's
say
it's
you would-
etched. It's
did you-
etched in.
Hey, did you just say?
What happened? What happened? We got a fire? 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 Fire?
How do you spill beer on a charter bus? Here you go. Oh, sorry. We're in cramped quarters here.
So where were we?
I want to know what Munson
so.
said, so we know.
What I was saying is,
Bang everybody.
talking about single yourself. I mean, it's like, well, of course I'm gonna bang everyone that spreads their legs.
But I was going for more of like, what other traits would you like? I would assume if single Steve is banging carbon fiber legs, what's up Domi called her, that there would be something else about him that it would change. I was just curious. Maybe I was trying to get a little deeper than what we should when we're drunk.
That's some deep shit.
There's
Nick, come
another
on.
reason why I wouldn't do that. The other reason I wouldn't do it is because at my house, my bedroom is upstairs, and if I had to sit her down to get me a beer afterwards, the refrigerator's down.
Domi, she's
It's
still
gonna
able
take
to
forever
walk.
for her to get back with my beer.
She was still able to walk on him.
Man.
Oh my God.
She has to put it back on.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
beer's gonna be warm by the time I get it back.
Like we have ventured like completely off the topic of hockey.
Yeah.
Like this could be a whole new podcast.
But this is
in
what
itself.
happens in the locker rooms.
This is locker room talk.
Yeah, no one talks about
Yeah.
hockey in the locker room. Unless you're on the white team.
Yeah, fuck us, man.
Brett's on the white team too.
We can still win a championship.
Hey, and
Yeah,
C cups are bigger than B
plan on
cups.
that. Let's plan on that.
How has your team done in the tournament, Munson?
Are you gonna hold back?
Yeah, hold back.
I am gonna hold back. Our team has fun. We have yet to score more goals than the opponent. Yeah. But you know what? You know what's cool about this tournament though is like, I mean, in any aspect of it, you're able to get any type of skill of player and get them and get them to join as a team and have fun playing with each other. I mean, that's what it's all about, really. You know, when we're playing with our leagues and stuff like that, everyone's like, well, I play in the A League. I'm better than those C Leaguers. I'm not going to talk to them, right? But here it's if you're showing up, let's do it. Now, I would throw out a disclaimer: know the rules if you're signing up for this tournament. But other than that,
what's the rules?
Offsides.
Offsides would be the main rule that you need to know.
Players need to know.
Yeah,
the
players
okay.
players need to know the rules.
And I just want to point this out because usually when I start talking to Steve about the donkeys and draft tournaments, I always come back to this, and he always says, "That was Munson for sure." And so what happened is when we first went to Seattle, I found the Tacoma Donkeys on Twitter.
Right.
I didn't know you were just using it for girly pics.
Our porn page.
Yeah. But I sent you a message and said, hey, we're doing this in Seattle or in Bremerton. I know you're in Tacoma. Like, why don't you come out? And you're like, we're the donkeys. We only play with each other.
That doesn't sound good, Nick. That does not sound
That's
good.
what he said. And I
play with each other every game.
But I said that to Steve, and he just goes, yeah, that's something Munson would say.
You know what's funny is when I was flying down here for this, I remembered that conversation. I was like, I'm biting my own words here, but yeah.
Biting his own words.
However, you know what? Fuck you guys, because when I was tweeting that, you guys were in the locker room with me saying, yeah, fuck them.
I don't remember this.
And then what happened is we got a bunch of people that Steve knew, or a couple people, and they came to the tournament, and then Steve was like, hey, I'm going to come to your tournament, and I want to talk about it. And, then he loved it, and then he's like, I'm going to go back and tell all the donkeys.
I think I'm a scapegoat a lot of the time for you guys.
A justified scapegoat.
It's easy to throw you under the bus and have to take it ourselves, you know?
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying I'm a scapegoat for a lot of things.
I mean, everyone uses
You were overserved.
Unrightfully
it all
so.
comes back to you being overserved.
These fucking irresponsible bartenders.
Well, guys, I just want to tell you, we're at Twin Peaks now. So
we're done.
We're getting off of the bus.
All right,
I would like to. I think this could keep going for hours.
Yeah.
And it probably could. We could do
We're going
this.
to go back to the hotel room, possibly put more substances in our body, and then come to Twin
Yes.
Peaks.
So until then,
We're done?
thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you.
I hope you remember this tomorrow,
Can
Jay.
I give you a handy to finish this off?
Are you talking to Steve?
No handies in here.
Is that single Munson?
That's it.
No, that's in relationship, Munson.
Hey, don't worry. His girlfriend won't mind.
Oh, perfect.
No, my girlfriend would love a video of this.
Just send her the one of you strip teasing with the dude last
She
night.
would
so.
she would have that on repeat on our TV.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. We'll talk to you guys
All
soon.
right, that was my boys, the Tacoma Donkeys. I mean, they're crazy, and they are that crazy. It's nuts. They came to a tournament once. I've told the story before about the guy that couldn't show up. It was Munson. He couldn't show up to the tournament because he had to work, but he came to the rink anyway after work and just took a team shower with the boys, and they had beers and donuts in their hands in the shower. Incredible camaraderie on that team. I love the Tacoma Donkeys. I love that still makes me laugh 7 years later. Just that whole Tamale story. So tamales are pretty special to the drafts, and now that we have tamales in Oklahoma City, I hope there's no tamale thefts going on. But that's the episode for this week. I know it's a little shorter than normal, but super stoked to be back after our little vacation. Things are going to get crazy, but I'm going to try to pump them out while I'm on the road. I bought a portable recorder, and a handheld mic so I can do interviews, we can do live shows, we can do all that stuff. So I'm super stoked about that. So follow us, like us, share us, be our friends, be a buddy, tell a buddy, all that good stuff. And you know what? Come to one of our tournaments because we have a great time. We got this golf thing, something I didn't mention on the front end. We got this golf thing. We're moving into new sports, the BLPA Bogey Draft Experience. You can bring your team, but we can also put you on a team. That's going to be, it's going to be an out there event, and I hope you come to that, and I hope you come to one of the hockey ones. Love you guys. We'll see you later. Be good or be good at it.